front, interest rates might soon be coming down, at least for good customers. American Express has started a new lower rate structure for Optima card holders. Others are expected to follow. A 12.5% rate applies to Optima card holders who charge at least $1,000 a year and make payments on time. 14.75% is the rate for those who charge less than $1,000 but manage those on-time payments. The rate jumps to 18.75% for those who have had one or more late payments in the past year. And here's a follow-up to one of my stories a couple of weeks ago on free tax help. The IRS offers several special programs for those people who find doing their taxes too taxing. Just remember, we're still the ones responsible in case there's a problem later on. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA program, is designed for taxpayers with household incomes of $50,000 or less who do not own rental property or a business. Tax counseling for the elderly, offered in conjunction with AARP, provides help to seniors. Both programs are free. To find one near you, call the IRS at 1-800-829-1040. I'm Steve Crowley, News Channel 5.
If you'd like to write to Steve, our address here is 3001 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44115.
We'd like you to meet a 12-year-old who's looking for a home. His name is Kevin, and he certainly has a quick smile.
And we'll introduce you to Wednesday's Child when Live on 5 returns.
Formula 3 is the new way to lose weight that everyone can afford.
I'm ready to make a change.
Enroll now for an average cost of just $9.55 per week.
Formula 3, Formula 3.
Come on, call us.
Pizza Hut delivery for the Supreme Pizza loaded with 6 delicious toppings. Get a Supreme for $7.99 and any other pizza for just $4 more.
How do you top the top-selling compact pickup?
With a free bed liner. Ford Ranger. Get one loaded with over $2,600 in savings. And now, every Ranger comes with a free bed liner, even super cabs.
Gas mileage that nobody can beat, and a free bed liner. 'Cause these days you gotta stretch every dollar.
Like I said, super cabs.
Your Ford dealers are winning Ohio over.
Marcia Davis has a new job with a better salary, profit-sharing, savings plan, and a new world of tax complexities. That's why there's Executive Tax Service, part of the H&R Block team, a cost-effective year-round income tax preparation service designed to meet even complex tax needs. Call 1-800-TAX-2000 for information and the H&R Block Executive Tax Service office nearest you.
Shall we begin?
It's time.
State finals coming up. A lot of pressure to win. I don't eat right, I get irregular, so I don't project a winning attitude, and the boys see that. I tried some natural bulk fiber, but I couldn't take all that grit. Then I discovered Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. No grit in the mix or the taste. Easy to get the extra fiber I need every day to stay regular. You got a winning attitude, you win, if you're lucky.
Metamucil, and you could stay regular for the rest of your life.
Prepare for an evening of incredible dance. Dance Theater of Harlem featuring the amazing Firebird, March 11th through the 15th. Call 241-6000.
He's a quiet young man with an endearing smile who's looking for a loving home. John Loffman introduces us to 11-year-old Kevin, today's Wednesday's Child.
The Lake Erie Nature and Science Center in Bay Village provided a backdrop against which 12-year-old Kevin and I had an opportunity to get acquainted with each other, while the center's director, Larry Richardson, introduced us to a few of its furry, feathery, and sometimes scaly residents. Kevin, whose quick smile makes the transition from acquaintance to friend an easy one, also proved adept at befriending most of the animals that we encountered. Kevin impressed me as a gentle young man with a variety of interests and the ability to adapt easily to an unfamiliar setting. Tell me about the things that you like.
I like soccer, collecting baseball cards, collecting stickers, any kind, watching TV, And school.
And most of all about school you like?
Reading.
Kevin is smart. He's even taught me a few things about the wonders of nature. More importantly, he's a considerate and giving young man who wouldn't hesitate to share a moment of wide-eyed discovery with the Nature Center's little visitors. In fact, the role of big brother seemed to come very naturally to him. But Kevin's real heart's desire is for a different role in life. He'd really like to lend his quick smile and gentle manner to a family who could envision him as a son. Seeing that become a reality is the desire that Kevin's placed in me. The openness of an accepting heart and a loving home is the hope he's placed in you.
And if you'd like to find out more information about adopting Kevin or any of the other children we feature each week, you can call the Department of Human Services. The number's right there on the screen for you, 621-5775. Tomorrow here on Live on 5, 2/3 of Peter, Paul, and Mary will join us, maybe more, who knows. And we'll take you to the Tribe Spring training to talk with prospects Pete Rose Jr. and David Bell, who's the son of former Indian Buddy Bell. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'll be back tonight at 11 with the day's news for you. Until then, make it a good evening. Stay tuned now as the news continues this Wednesday evening with Ray Weisinger and Ted Henry. Good night.
From News Channel 5, Cleveland's live 24-hour news source continues.
Good evening. A man caught Sunday on home video exposing himself to young girls and soliciting one for sex stood before a judge today.
And after a News Channel 5 investigation, the Cleveland Police Strike Team went into action and picked up the exposer. Police call William Rivera the West Side Flasher, who had gotten away with it for over a year before concerned parents finally got themselves involved. Bill Youngkin says this is a perfect example of what can happen when police and neighbors work together.
Police caught up with 28-year-old William Rivera in the Spanish-speaking church in the near West Side. The pastor says detectives quietly walked in and escorted him out. Rivera was new at the church. No one yet had gotten to know him.
No, I just saluted him, our regular greetings, like we do. God bless you, how are you? But never got into no deep conversation with him.
While the courts only consider the charges against Rivera misdemeanors, police take it seriously.
We obviously very strongly feel that a lot of these misdemeanor so-called sexual perversion crimes are the precursor of much more serious crimes.
Commander Greg Beffler says his strike force unit was very familiar with Rivera, but in a year and a half had never been able to make a case against him because parents backed out and refused to sign a complaint. That is until Sunday when a West 38th Street family spotted him exposing himself and rolled their home videotape camera. Cops say they can't do it alone, especially in cases like the one this week here on the near West Side. And when people get involved, people who say, we're not going to take it anymore, it sends a strong message. And with this case, Commander Beffler and his men feel others will get the message.
The quality of life in the neighborhoods is directly related to removing the people that are out there exposing themselves to our children.
Police hope more people will stand up and say, we're not going to take it anymore. In Cleveland, I'm Bill Youngkin, News Channel 5.
Community court people tell us today Rivera pleaded not guilty to the charges. Bond was set at $2,500, and he'll be in the county workhouse until he can either make bond or goes back to court.
A 25-year-old man from Elyria was arraigned this morning on corruptions charges that evolved from having sex with his wife. The man's wife is now 16, but police say the charges were brought on because the sexual relationship began when the girl was 14. The man, Dale Scrivanik, faces 3 counts of corruption of a minor. State law says it's illegal to have sex with a person 16 or younger if the partner is at least 4 years older. A pretrial hearing is set for March 23rd.
A $1 million cut in the Lorain County Sheriff's Department budget is being blamed tonight for putting people's lives on the line daily. Last year, commissioners, due to a $3.5 million budget shortfall, ordered those cuts. However, as David Christopher tells us now, last evening, things simply got so bad, dispatchers were almost afraid to answer the telephone.
Shortly before 8 last night, 23-year-old David Panner was shot in Lorain County. By the time deputies arrived, the gunman was gone. However, as deputies began their investigation, all other 911 calls had to wait.
Lorain County Sheriff, yes, I was just burglarized. I just got home and found my house totally burglarized. The only officer I have out on the road is at the hospital. Some guy just got shot, so... Okay, well, I have a gun, and I'm here, so...
Luckily, the burglar had left, but 13 minutes later, another call for action.
Sheriff's office? Yes, I'd like to report a break-in. Where at? This is over... It's a hi-fi station on 254. Oh, my God. I don't have anybody out on the road. Where at?
The burglary calls were just 2 of 4 serious calls, including a shooting that the Sheriff's Department received within a 40-minute period last night. The only problem was they had just 1 car to cover the entire county. It took deputies 1 hour to respond to the store and almost 2 hours to get to the homeowner.
Generally, I think it's accepted that on an emergency call, you should be there within 3 minutes, preferably.
But that's impossible today. 1 year ago, there were 36 deputies covering 320 square miles. Today, the number is 16.
It is scary for everyone, including my own family. I guess your only response is to call the police or fend for as best possible you can. I hope that it doesn't take someone to get killed or to lose their life, whether it's an officer or a citizen. It isn't worth whatever the price is for that.
David Christopher, News Channel 5.
Sheriff Mahoney says a recent survey indicates the department should have 45 deputies. Again, they have only 16.
Tonight, police from 13 northeastern Ohio communities are considering pooling resources and information in a massive effort to nail smash-and-grab robbers. The armed robbers have struck area jewelry stores from Cleveland to Mentor to Bowling Green, shattering glass cases and stealing wedding rings in a matter of minutes. Police now believe that gangs may be to blame and that the gangs may be initiating members by putting them up to the robberies. Willowick police, who have dealt with 2 smash and grabs since the first of the year, say if the pattern escalates, it could turn deadly.
I know in our first incident, we were a matter of 30 to 45 seconds late in getting and confronting these individuals. I hate to think what would happen if we were that 45 seconds sooner in our response time. I think there would have been a major shootout. A lot of innocent people could get seriously hurt or killed.
Both the FBI and the Cleveland Youth Gang Unit will be contributing to the investigation.
Charges have been filed against the 13-year-old boy who accidentally shot and killed his 12-year-old friend. 12-year-old Ivan Watley was shot in the head Friday night. The fatal shooting happened after a playmate aimed his uncle's rifle at Ivan, and not knowing the weapon was loaded, he pulled the trigger. The 13-year-old boy is charged with negligent homicide. As of yet, a court date has not been set. A prominent area businessman has been brought up on weapons charges. A federal grand jury in Cleveland today returned a 4-count indictment against James August Palladino of Macedonia. Palladino, you may recall, is the former owner of Inland Refuse Transfer Corporation. He sold his interest in the company last year. Palladino has been charged with illegally possessing dozens of firearms and ammunition as a previously convicted felon.
Well, if you had to go outside this morning, you know just how bad the roads were. A blast of old man winter blew in overnight and made the rush hour drive a mess. Cold temperatures and blowing snow caused poor visibility and even some school closings in the area. Our Roosevelt Leftwich has been out in the weather today and, in fact, is still out in the weather and joins us live with more. Roosevelt, you must be pretty cold by now.
Well, as you can see, Roy and Ted, most of the main roads are quite clear, although police advise that many of the side streets throughout the city of Cleveland are still snow-covered and a bit icy, so if you're going to go out tonight, they also advise that you take a little care. Now, many of the people that we talked with today say they were quite surprised this morning to look outside their doors and see a lot of snow piled outside. It seemed like only yesterday that there was a hint of spring in the air. You could walk around with just a light jacket. But you wouldn't want to try that today. These shoppers had a choice to make: hang on to their groceries or hang on to each other. The sudden winter blast surprised many folks.
I like cold weather, but it's come at the wrong time for me.
How's that?
Because I wasn't prepared for it.
Oh, okay. But Clevelanders continued on with their daily chores, from working outside to walking around. But not everyone dreaded the cold air. This woman just moved back to Cleveland from Georgia. Warm 72 degrees in the wintertime, Georgia, that is.
Yeah, I miss it a lot, but I think we've been lucky this year because usually I know winters are pretty rough, and I missed all the cold except for today.
You actually missed it?
Yeah, I missed it. I missed all the big snowstorms.
Now, although things were quite bad this morning, I talked to Shane earlier today, and he says that things should be a little better tomorrow. So if you're going to be traveling to Georgia or something like that, the road should be quite nice. However, we still will have that cold and probably a bit of wind. Roy?
Okay, thanks, Roosevelt. Shane Holland is checking the latest information. We'll have the forecast in just a few minutes. Well, the Ohio primary is just 2 months away. Or is it? We'll have the latest on the political dispute.
You telling me or are you asking me?
I'm asking.
I got the answer and I'll give it to you later. And a potentially deadly virus is in a Cleveland school. We'll have details on both these stories as News Channel 5 continues.
Did your mom ever say, "Why don't you ever call"? If she does, watch the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Thursday afternoon at 4 on TV 5.
A famous designer of queen sizes made 40,000 separate, sold 35,000 to specialty stores. What happened to the rest?
America's best shirt manufacturer made 230,000 shirts. Traditional stores bought 210,000. What happened to the rest?
A fine manufacturer made 60,000 shoes, sold 52,000 to shoe stores. What happened to the rest?
All designer and brand names, all at off price, all the time.
Wait, don't adjust the color on your TV. These are Florida oranges, and this is as orange as they get. Now, while some people look for oranges that are very, very orange, Florida oranges are sometimes a little yellow, even a little green. But inside, Florida oranges are rich, ripe, delicious. Outside, this is as orange as it gets. Inside, you can't get more orange.
Get fresh Florida oranges featured this week at Stop and Shop supermarkets.
Char Gilcher of Bemidji, Minnesota, does her part to check inflation.
Bring the Baron home tonight. Red Baron Pizza microwave singles.
Story here about TB. A grade school child has come down with the tuberculosis virus.
But the Cleveland School District says it is highly unlikely an elementary school student infected with the TB will pass the disease on to his fellow classmates. A district health educator says because the disease was caught early, the chances of it spreading are very slim. Still, some parents with children enrolled at Daniel E. Morgan Elementary School are naturally concerned. Others expect no problem.
If he wasn't being treated, then I'd be very concerned. But because he's being treated, I'm pretty sure his parents won't let him go to a school and, infect everybody else. So.
Doctors say students can guard against catching the TB virus or the bacteria by washing their hands regularly and covering their mouths when coughing or sneezing.
Ohio's primary picture is still not perfectly crystal clear to all of us, but it's in a lot better focus right now than it was earlier this morning. Word was there might be not one, but two primaries in the Buckeye State, carrying an added cost of some $6 million. Political reporter Lou Maglio joins us live now from our 24-hour newsroom. Lou, I know it's extraordinarily complex, but I also know you're up to the challenge here. How is this primary picture shaking out?
All right, Ted. Well, first off, let us say that we can virtually forget about the scheduled May 5th Ohio primary. Look for it to happen on the first Tuesday in June instead. Why? Well, basically, the state is just not ready.
The folks running for president are getting most of the attention, but there will be other names and issues on your ballot. You'll vote in state senate and representative primaries, for example. But a three-judge panel didn't like a census-required remapping plan and ordered a vote delay. The census also cost Ohio 2 congressional districts. It's complicated drawing up new lines, and that's not been done yet. So the Secretary of State says no congressional primaries in May either. Pushing everything back pleases the head of Cuyahoga County's Board of Elections.
Primary costs roughly $1,300,000.
Cost aside, his people would have a devil of a time preparing for back-to-back primaries.
Yes, it would be difficult because it doesn't give us the startup time that is required to put an election on in that size.
Now, the Ohio presidential primary is not officially pushed back yet, but based on the cost of 2 primaries and the logistical problems, it will be. This throws a lot of things out of whack. Presidential candidates need to reschedule their visits to the state of Ohio, and ad campaigns must also be adjusted. And Ted, many Ohio candidates today still don't know exactly what their district boundaries are.
Yeah. Hey, there's something I'm a little bit confused about here, Lou, speaking about that other issue of the primary. A June primary, if it comes to be that for certain, doesn't that in fact come dangerously close to the Democratic National Convention?
It does, and first off, I think it dilutes the importance of the Ohio primary, and if it's pushed back any later than that, the delegates won't even have time to get their bags packed and head to the convention sites.
Something to ponder. Thanks, Lou.
Some great news today for the Revco drugstore chain based in Twinsburg. A federal judge today approved a plan for the company to emerge from bankruptcy protection. The plan will let Revco remain independent. It'll probably be early April before the plan goes into effect.
Boy, what a revolting development that turned out to be this morning for all of us as we climbed out of bed. Time now to check with Shane for our 24-hour forecast, see if he has some hope for us. Shane?
Well, there is hope on the horizon, Ted. By Monday, we should start to warm up. But for tonight, it's going to be very cold out there. Occasional flurries, temperatures dropping into the teens this evening, and then dropping down to 13 degrees, single digits in the suburbs under cloudy skies, chill factor sub-zero. We're looking at cloudy skies again tomorrow, and with the clouds and the overcast, maybe a few peaks of sunshine, temperature 26, colder still tomorrow night. It'll be the coldest night coming up. Going into Friday, we're going to see cloudy skies and a temperature dropping down to about 12 degrees and single digits once again. But there is milder air ahead. I'll have details of that later. Back to you.
Ouch. Okay, Shane, thanks. The financially strapped Cleveland Ballet is about to put on one of their top shows.
Up next, we'll have a sneak preview of the attraction that opens tonight when News Channel 5 continues.
How do you top the top-selling compact pickup?
With a free bed liner. Ford Ranger. Get one loaded with over $2,600 in savings. And now, every Ranger comes with a free bed liner, even super cabs.
Gas mileage that nobody can beat, and a free bed liner. Because these days, you gotta stretch every dollar.
Like I said, super cabs.
Your Ford dealers are winning Ohio over.
Are you floundering around looking for something tasty to eat? Then head down the pike to McDonald's. Right now, you'll land a delicious Filet-O-Fish sandwich to the tuna at just 99 cents. No, you're not herring things. Just 99 cents for a crispy fish fillet with melted cheese and tartar sauce. It's a great fish story. Throw in a large fry and medium Coca-Cola Classic, and you've got the catch of the day. McDonald's Filet-O-Fish, just 99 cents, because what you want is what you get, and that's no abalone.
Yes, the Ohio Lottery Instant Game. As many ways to win as you've got ways to scratch.
Service and value every day. Save the Stop and Shop way.
Save on extra lean value pack ground chuck. 4 pounds or more, $1.49 a pound.
Save.
1 pound pack Sugardale bacon, regular thick or thin slice, 99 cents, limit 3. Stop and Shop fresh California all green broccoli, a great buy at 49 cents a bunch.
Our family cares about your family. Stop and Shop.
Formula 3 is the new way to lose weight that everyone can afford.
I'm ready to make a change.
Enroll now for an average cost of just $9.55 per week.
Formula 3, Formula 3.
Come on, call us.
Hey, what a great evening it is for ballet lovers. This is opening night tonight for the Dance Theater of Harlem, performing this week at the State Theater in town. We got a sneak peek this afternoon at one of the 4 ballets that are going to be performing. Dance Theater of Harlem is being presented by the Cleveland Ballet, which will release its latest figures on their Save the Ballet campaign at tonight's all-important concert. The troop must finish raising $1 million by March 29th.
Well, we told you earlier in the show about the snow here in Cuyahoga County. Well, the folks to the south of us were not spared. Just yesterday, the people of Columbus were walking around in shorts and shirt sleeves, enjoying the warm weather and throwing the old Frisbee. Well, today, they got the same blast we got. They got less than half the snow we got, but it still caused all kinds of problems in Columbus.
It sure did. Hey, I want to go running in the St. Malachi St. Patrick's Saturday run, 5 miles, but I don't want to freeze my toes off.
Run quickly.
So, is it going to be warmer by Saturday, perhaps?
A little bit, but run quickly.
Run quickly.
You know.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay.
He's done
but
that
then again,
before.
you could suffer from chill factor, so it might be better just to walk. Okay. 21 and 18. Actually, we've jumped up to 22, so the high for today is 22 degrees, and you can see the beautiful sunset in progress. And pretty decent day coming up tomorrow. Much better than today because the winds will be dying down, and for Saturday, it should be okay for Ted to run. 43 and 27. Last year, 34 and 23. And the records can get very mild at this time of the year. 1977, we got to 73, but also very cold, a -3 in 1960. Currently, we have 22 degrees of chill factor, 0 with the winds gusting out of the west up to 26 miles per hour. The barometer is rising, humidity is dropping, the air is very cold and dry. I'm looking at radar right now. Temperatures, the ones we're picking up, generally sitting in the low to mid-20s to the south of us, upper teens to the north. A lot of clouds around the east coast this morning. There's the demarcation line. That's the cold front that swept through. It triggered off tornadoes and severe weather across the southeast. We have another system developing to the west of us, and this one is a very weak system, and it'll tend to go just to the south of us following the first system went through last night, and then go up the east coast and give them some more rain and snow. Ahead of this system, warm air is sweeping into Montreal. They're getting rain behind the storm system, and then behind the storm system across the mid-Atlantic states, they're picking up snow. So quite a contrast in temperatures as the warm and cold air wrap around the system. That is an Alberta clipper, but it'll clip to the south of us, not really affect us other than giving us more clouds, and they're finally drying out in the southwest. High pressure system building in, that will be the weather maker for next week for us. So we're going to start to warm up, but it's going to take a while. Record-breaking low temperature in Arkansas, 18 degrees. And we have cool weather coming up. Forecast goes like this for tonight. If you're going out, bundle up. Chill factor will be a problem. Down around -5 to -10 as the temperatures drop down to about 13, single digits in the suburbs. 26 degrees tomorrow. Cloudy skies. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy tomorrow night, 15. And then partly cloudy on Friday, 25. Here we go, Ted.
Okay.
25 cloudy. And when you're running in the morning, probably around 20 degrees. Just, I think you'll need leggings.
It's going to take a lot of sauerkraut to react from that one after. 2 pair of socks that day.
Yes.
Thanks, Shane. The Cavs win a big one, but the price tag may be a little high as one of the starters goes down.
Nev is up next. We'll have the latest on Craig Elo's injured knee. A lot more serious than first thought. Sports is next.
Nobody brings it home like we do. The best in entertainment, information too. Whenever you're ready, cable's ready too. Nobody brings it home like we do. It's always on cable just for you.
You felt the excitement at the Cleveland Auto Show, and now's your chance to cash in with the Power Pack with $500 cash back over and above any incentive or any deal on any new Pontiac in stock, even the hot Grand Am GT. That's $500 cash over and above GMAC financing as low as 2.9 APR, or add it to current factory incentives for total savings up to $1,000. It's never been more exciting to buy American. There's never been a better time than right now. Cash in on excitement at your Pontiac Power Pack dealer today.
Ohio Edison has introduced a technology that can tap into a valuable energy source right in your own backyard. It's called System GT, and it uses natural energy from the sun that keeps the ground down here at a constant temperature all year. Geothermal energy to heat and cool your home for less. Call us for a listing of A-plus dealers and find out how System GT can bring your energy costs down to earth.
Chi-Chi's. It's Chi-Chi's Chajita Enchilada Special with sizzling chajitas, a saucy enchilada, sweet sopapillas, just $6.99.
Chi-Chi's, a celebration of
What's for lunch at Chi-Chi's? Anything you want. Everything you want. Now, all you can eat. Just $4.99. Chi-Chi's Mexifest Buffet. For lunch.
Hi, Mom. Yeah, I was just opening it. Well, I've been studying like a fiend, and I really miss Cleveland. Oh, everything. You and Daddy, Oscar, Millbrook bread, you know, all the important things. The food is gross. I can't even make a decent sandwich because the bread in the cafeteria is so dry. All right, it's Oscar. Millbrook bread. Mom, you think of everything.
Millbrook bread, Cleveland's favorite, because it tastes like home.
I know that Craig Elo will be back in a day or two because he never gets hurt and nothing ever happens. He's a real Iron Man, right?
Yes, Doctor.